Hi everyone, I'm Gladi Cologne.
And I'm Laura Hartman.
And you're watching Brand New Day on Be Well TV. Catch us here on Thursdays for a brand new episode. Welcome, Laura.
Hi.
To a new episode. Today, in honor of Mother's Day, we're going to be talking about moms.
Hashtag mom life.
Hashtag mom life. Working mom, career mom, stay-at-home moms. We're going to talk about it all.
Yeah.
And first, we're going to talk about one mom that we had on our show last week.
Yeah.
Mrs. Shannon Orm.
Yes.
She was awesome, wasn't she?
She's amazing. I could listen to her all day. But I feel like we say that about every guest because they're all so amazing. But she just is such just a bank of knowledge with everything about LinkedIn.
Yeah.
I mean, we ended up after the show talking forever about just the discussion continued. And I'm just so excited to just see her grow with Pivot Consulting.
Yes.
And what were your takeaways? Have you applied anything to did you run back home and update your LinkedIn account?
I did. I looked at my banner. I haven't updated it yet.
Okay.
I haven't updated it yet, but I looked at my personal banner. And then, of course, our H&F Redefined business page. I looked at the keywords that we can plug into that because the algorithm is real, hate it or love it.
That's for the specialties that she was talking about?
Correct, on the business page. So we looked at which keywords we can plug in, play there. So those were my two main takeaways.
Yeah.
Yeah. What about you?
Are you changing your banner? We're supposed to have the same banner.
No, we do everything the same. No, So I have some options for our banner. We'll talk about that later.
Okay.
Keeping the banner, just writing maybe a phrase on there. How about that?
Got it. Okay. Can't wait. Don't forget to run it by the Director of Creative Services over here.
Can't forget that. So yeah, Shannon Orm, Pivot Consulting Group. You can find her on LinkedIn or watch our episode from last week on Be Well TV.
Yep. And then we also recently featured a giveaway for one of our upcoming innovators. We have an article coming out soon on the triple threat trio, the S3 Creation team. They are an Instagram account, and this I keep wanting to say duo, but trio of sisters, ages 14, 9, and 7, I want to say. They're just an amazing little trio that has a momager, so their momager is what they call her, that push them over the summer, or encourage them, I should say, to get off their phones, get off the couch, stop watching TV, and start a business, do something, give back to the community. So they call each other S1, S2, S3.
Right, so is it the sister one?
Yeah.
Or is it something else?
Well, all of their names begin with S. I believe. Yes.
Even better.
Exactly. Yeah. So, but they're young, so their code name is S1, S2, S3.
But they're definitely our youngest innovators.
Definitely the youngest, and they started making these really cool custom bracelets, and then that turned into, over the holidays, doing smash cakes and hot chocolate bombs, which I actually got some of those. They're amazing. I did a fun video with a Christmas morning with my family on those. And they just keep coming up with all these new ideas, and they're selling these. They have a full-on business now, and these three young girls are running it with the background support of their momager. So more to come on them. Keep an eye out for their story.
Yes. On
it's
Instagram,
really inspiring.
S3 Creations.
S3 Creations. And I want to say 15 or 20% of the proceeds that they make goes back to the Pet Alliance group. So just so cool that this momager has not only encouraged the spirit of entrepreneurialism with these young girls, but also giving back to the community. So, I mean, Mom of the Year.
Yes.
Mom of the Year right there. So
yeah, very cute.
Yeah.
Love them.
So anyway, the giveaway that we did was these really cute bookends, stacked stamp books that they make, and they have been doing lately a Mother's Day theme as a great gift for you to get your mom, but they customize them in all different ways. So a fun new product that they've been rolling out, so definitely check them out.
Yeah, very cool.
Yeah.
So let's dive right in and talk about moms. Let's talk about, we've had an opportunity to experience both sides of the spectrum.
Yeah.
As far as being a career mom, I guess it's fair to say, stay-at-home mom. Last year, we were both kind of doing that.
Yeah, so we thought it would be fun today to kind of break down the barriers or the stereotypes of career mom versus stay-at-home mom. unfortunately, I think if you're on one side of the fence, you have an opinion about the other's way of life. Everyone, career mom thinks that stay-at-home mom has it easier, but stay-at-home mom thinks career mom does. And we wanted to talk about that today because when we got furloughed, we were automatically forced to transition from career mom life to stay-at-home mom life. And so we've now really been able to see both sides of the spectrum. And I have to say, I feel guilty. I was somebody who made some judgments or had a certain perspective about what that day in the life was on the other side of things that wasn't fair. And living a year in those shoes, it was not easy.
Yeah.
It was not easy.
And then another layer on top of that is a hospitality career mom.
Yeah, exactly.
With odd hours that you work weekends.
Yeah.
There's no set schedule.
Yeah, the structure.
So there's another layer in there we're going to talk about.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't know. So we have kind of different perspectives because your kids are older, and so you can really talk from having older children, and I can only speak to having the little babies. So tell me about what did you think stay-at-home mom life was when you were full-on career, hadn't been doing it every day?
I had a feeling it was hard. I knew it was hard, which is why I didn't want to do it, which is why I never had little ones from the beginning, because it's difficult, and I knew that. And I've got 3 sisters. They all have children, and I see when you're a mom, you give 110% of yourself.
Yeah,
and that's what I would do. Anything that I do.
Yeah. Any
projects, my career, anything is 110%.
Right.
Same thing with mom. So I see what my friends and my sisters, what they all do, and it's not easy. You're constantly on, right? There's no lunch break.
Yeah.
When you're a stay-at-home mom.
Yeah. Yeah. No, definitely. And I think for me, it was always, I would get caught up in that morning rush to work where most moms can agree, regardless of stay-at-home mom or career mom, that morning routine, if you've got kids that are, whether they're little or they're still going to school, that morning routine is like, tell me what the secret is, please, somebody, because
in the comments, tell
us in the comments. I want all your advice. It is just chaos some days. No matter how you pick the outfits out, and the night before you have everything organized, something always backfires. Yeah. Every time you're set up for success to get out that door on time, inevitably it all falls apart, and then you're late and you're racing across town and you're throwing them out the door. And I always found myself meeing past the other moms and get my kids in so I could get to that morning meeting. And I think that's where I would really see it, is I would see the stay-at-home moms that were kind of casually dropping their kids off and still in their athleisure wear, and just, I envied that. Yeah. But then I had it, and I realized there still is that morning rush, and when they go home, they have all these household chores to do, and they have all these other things to take care of, and then the children are out of school a lot of times early in the afternoon. So it's not this huge long of a window that we assume it is, 2-3 o'clock, depending on when that school is out. They've got to be ready. They've got to have that dinner ready. They've got to have all those errands done. Yeah. There's a lot to get done.
Yeah. Plus, there's that assumption from your spouse that if you're home, you can take care of this.
Yeah.
But you have a laundry list of things that you know you already need to do and take care of.
Yeah.
For me, it's not as much as the morning rush that's a pain. It's the evening rush.
Oh yeah, that's a mess too. That's just a whole hot mess too.
That's just candidly speaking. But the evening rush to beat I-4 traffic, right, and then get home. Start cooking dinner. Most days I can't even change my clothes from work, so I'm in my stilettos over the stove, walking through the kitchen, walking through the door, hoping that I'm not coming home to a sink full of dishes because I can't start dinner without that. Yeah. So for me, it's the evening cycle or routine, if you will, when you're working. And now we're back to work, so we're experiencing that every day.
Well, and then, but not every mom has, if you have really, really little ones, your kids might not be in school yet. And that's where I really, really learned this past year, being out of work. There was a very, very long period of time where my kids weren't able to go to their daycare. And then when they did, we had to cut back their amount of days because, no paycheck.
You weren't working.
I wasn't working. So, so we only had them there a couple days to keep them with the structure, but also have those days with myself or with me. But geez, those couple days a week that they were home with me, I mean, they're pulling on you, they're tugging on you, they're go, 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 and it's just Didn't you tell me one
time that unless you have every minute by minute schedule for them, an activity scheduled for them, that's when things go crazy, and then you think back, okay, so I'm a full-time mom, I'm doing this every day, all day. There's only so many activities in a day you can do, and especially if the 2-year-old doesn't want a nap.
Right.
What are you supposed to do?
Yeah. I mean, they have obviously minds of their own, and you can only plan so much. They're only going to go with so much, and maybe at school they'll do that because they're surrounded with their peers, and they have teachers that are more of an authority figure that's not their mom. They're not going to get away with it at school. At home, they think that they can outsmart mom and dad whenever they get the chance. But I feel like I started out the gate really all over it. I was fired up. I was going to kill this stay-at-home mom thing. I was doing really, really good. I was texting with some of my girlfriends, and they were like, I don't know what these activities you're doing. I don't even do that.
The button art.
I was doing Orange and Field. I was on their website every day. Every holiday. I was killing it. But it's a lot to keep up with. It really is a lot to keep up with. I mean, I was doing good morning songs. Then I had the Spanish good morning song.
Can we hear the Spanish good morning song?
Buenos dias. It's a cute one, but they loved it. We got our little merengues out, and we would dance, and my husband was working from home, stop. But then after, it wasn't sustainable for me to do that every single day, in and out and out. And a lot of women don't have that opportunity. So just so much kudos to the women that are doing this day in, day out. I have walked a day in your shoes, a year in your shoes, and it's not easy, and you should be commended for everything that you're doing. And I will say that going back to work it's nice because I get that time to actually be one with my thoughts sometimes, I can be at my desk and kind of catch up on where my head's at, catch up with what do I need to accomplish, because I think as a mom you're getting tugged, and you suppress your own thoughts, and you suppress what's happening up here because you're trying to give them the attention, and before you know it, the whole house is chaos and nothing's gotten done, and then it's just all a mess.
It's organized chaos, right?
Yeah,
we love to say that in event world.
Yeah, and thank God for my husband. I know we're going to dive into being a hospitality mom soon, but the kids need structure. They've got to have structure, and I'm not necessarily the structured one at home. I am at work very much so, but at home I'm not, because I'm the one that gives in to everything. I feel bad. I want to just that my little 5-year-old kind of rules the house, and
but at least you know that they need some type of structure.
Yes,
and I think that's important. I think kids do need to be on a schedule,
and we do the best that we can. I do the best that we can, but my husband's really good at kind of maintaining what those milestones are for the day and what we have to do, and remind me fun's got to end at some point, Laura. We've got to do this and move on to the next thing, and so kind of transitioning back into being at work.
Right.
We are now I'm in a job that has very limited structure with hours.
Right. And you're back to work, so it's not like you're at home working remote, which, for the record, you cannot work remote and also take care of your kids.
Right.
That is a myth, and anyone who thinks that, you're at home, why can't you just watch little Susie for an hour or two? Just for the reasons that you stated, they need all of your attention. So that's just not possible.
I have one friend that's been doing it, and you know who you are if you're listening, and I know you're watching, but she had a little baby who just turned 1. Can I give a shout out to baby Dean? I'm just going to have to give a shout out to he called our 3rd son. Our little baby Dean just turned 1, and his mom has been working from home with little baby Dean, but now baby Dean's walking. I'm very curious how this is going to go, because they're all up in your laptop and you're chasing
into everything.
Exactly. Yeah. It's all fun and games when they're lying there. Yeah. They're like, then they get mobile and you've got to chase them.
That's too funny. Well, okay, so hospitality moms, your schedule is never really, you don't really have a schedule.
Right.
I mean, you know the basics, you know you go into work Monday through Friday, but sometimes you're working weekends and evenings.
Yeah.
And so how does that factor into being a career mom?
So it goes back to the structure and how much kids need that. And I think that if you're a hospitality mom, there's so much. I mean, let's face it, there's already that mom burden that every mom carries, that you know at the end of the day you are ultimately responsible for these people. That's the mom burden. And then there's the guilt of working, and then that guilt gets even heavier when you can't be home at a consistent time, or weekends when it's confusing for them, when it's not a school day, but mommy, why are you going to work? And when they're really little, it's so hard for them to understand and embrace where you're going and why you rushing to work, or why were you home for dinner last night but not tonight.
But even if they're older, okay, so I have a teenager at home, you don't want them sitting at home until 7:30 or 8 o'clock at night by themselves until you roll in the door and finally whip up some spaghetti and meatballs.
Yeah, because they want to be cared about.
Yeah,
and they want to have company.
That pressure to get out at a decent time and get home and get your family, it's a very real thing. But I think part of that too is staying in constant communication with your spouse, and making sure that somebody is home, and making sure somebody's getting things started. And if you're going to be late, just again staying in constant communication. And I'm fortunate enough, and I think you are too, we have husbands that get it. They get the hospitality thing, and my husband is in hospitality, so he doesn't beat up on me too bad when I'm late, but he still appreciates a courtesy call if I'm going to be late, and then somebody can get the household going.
Yeah, and I think I've always heard both ways. Oh, marry somebody in hospitality because they get it, and if you don't, they're never going to understand. But then on the flip side, we are very lucky that my family's very lucky I didn't marry somebody in hospitality, because he might have been out of job. He might have been out of a job too.
That's true. That's
true. Kind of having that, I guess, diversity in careers was, a blessing for us. It played
out, well.
And the job that he has, he's an engineer, so he has a very regimented schedule. I mean, it's very regimented. So it's totally, he can be the consistent one for our family. So I think whatever it is, it's finding which one of the two people or whoever it is in your family can be that consistent person for your kids. So it doesn't feel like they're being tossed around. It just feels like, oh, today it's daddy, today it's mommy, but this is normal. And
hospitality moms do the best they can, right?
Yeah.
So speaking of which, how do you incorporate your kids' life into your career?
So that's probably one of the cool things about working for a hotel is I've always tried to, you don't want to talk all the time about work, but I try and talk about my coworkers and make them feel familiar with who these people are that I'm working with every day. Or if there's ever opportunities to bring them to the hotel, or if I have to check in on something on a weekend, I'll tell my husband, bring the boys, I'm gonna go check on my group. If they're there maybe a couple hours and maybe they go off and swim, or I give them a little back of house tour, show them mommy's office, and let them have a visual of where mommy's going to every day.
Where mommy disappears
to every day. One time at my last property, I brought my my little guy Cooper, and I took him to the kitchen. He's been on a whole culinary kick lately, like watching chef stuff on TV and being a chef at school. So I took him to the kitchen, and our garde manger chef gave him a full tour of the kitchen and showed him this is where
that's awesome for a 4-year-old.
Exactly. And he pulled out all this stuff like, he showed him purple carrots, and he showed him where they make the soup, and just his eyeballs were like that, and he remembers that. Yeah, he remembers that, and now he's saying, do you still work at that same hotel, or giving them some kind of a visual so they can picture you.
Definitely,
they can picture you.
I agree with incorporating your family into your hospitality lifestyle. Yeah. It's great now that we have supportive leaders that I know that if I ever got in a bind like that, my family could come and just chill at the resort until my event is over. We do boxing events. The family's always invited to come, and again, I have teenagers, so that's okay. That's a good event for them to be at. But I know when Leisha was just right around the age to start working, I told her to come and work at the hotel. That's how I started to incorporate her into that hospitality lifestyle, not because I was trying to pick a path for her, but really just to get her involved with kind of my world, just temporarily work in recreation, and same kind of advice I'm giving my stepson. I'm telling him, check out hotels, check out my hotel, whatever, it doesn't matter, but check out any hotel. That's how I kind of incorporate them into my hospitality life.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I love it. Yeah.
And I'll try and recreate dishes or things that I'll mention, I learned this or I did this at work today, so let's try it here. Or my little Cooper, I'll make him my little party planner. If we ever have a family gathering or a birthday party, then we talk about how mommy's an event planner, but you're going to be my client. You're going to be my meeting planner or whatever. And so I let him pick out the menu, even if it makes no sense. I'll let him pick out the menu and design the cake and go to the store to pick it up, and we'll go to Party City and he picks out all the stuff. And so I try and incorporate this is what mommy does for a living, and I want to teach you these skills and let him apply that. And my husband ended up with a Darth Vader party. My husband ended up with a Darth Vader birthday party in January, but it's you just go with it.
You just go with it, exactly. Yeah. Well, we went ahead and pulled some of our moms from our network just to get their take on a couple of things. So we went ahead and printed a couple. Maybe we can share a couple of those thoughts.
We kind of polled the audience to see, what kind of advice do, the seasons moms, new moms have that they could share, and how has COVID affected their parenting skills. So I guess I'm going to take this one. We each have a couple, so let's take turns on reading.
Okay.
So the first one comes from Lori Rupp, and she says, I could share perspective from what it was 25 years ago. My kids are now 27 and 29. I did not have a family-friendly boss back then. The mommy guilt was heavy. So, I mean...
Yeah.
That makes my heart break.
How many people can relate to that, though?
Right, exactly. And that is, I'm such an advocate now of, number one, women working. Number two, career moms. Women who want to work need to be able to work in an environment and a culture that supports that. I'm such an advocate of this. I think that being able to see and watch a career mom in action is just so inspiring, and any young woman that works in an office with a career woman like that, career mom like that, that gives them hope, that gives them inspiration. And we need to be able to show our younger generations that you can do it all, you can have it all if that's what you choose. So as leaders, whether you're out there, as we develop our leadership skills, it's so important to set that tone.
Something or someone is going to suffer if you don't have a boss that supports the family and the work-life balance. Whether your work's suffering or your family's suffering, something's gonna suffer. So this next one I'll take. This is from Debbie Andrews from Orlando.
Hi, Debbie.
She says, I am second-generation planner. Completing the circle and teaching Hannah our industry is just part of who we are. Hannah has been doing events with me since she was 8.
Wow.
Showing her the good, the bad, and the ugly teaches her what it takes to pull off events pull off events without anyone ever knowing any issues.
Wow.
Isn't that something?
So she's breeding a little mini-me.
Yeah, but showing her how we make all that magic happen behind the scenes, that's cool.
Yeah. No, I love that. So, all right, so this one is from Terry Matthews Lombardo. So she's a local meeting planner here in Orlando. Terry is very passionate about the subject. She says, I love this topic. I'll start by offering something that she says, although mine's a little bit different because she's got older children. Mine involves having 2 adult grown kids plus a daughter-in-law temporarily move home again during the lockdown. Basically, we had 5 adults, 4 all working from home at the same time.
Oh, wow.
I was fortunate. The husband still went out to work every day.
I love that.
For a number of months, plus 2 dogs. I have to admit, it was a joy for all of us. Well, for sure, at least me. We had the fun of meeting in the kitchen for unexpected coffee breaks. Sometimes a lunch would appear for all of us, frequently yelling, quiet on the set, when someone had an important Zoom conference, which happened all the time.
That's the 2020 reality.
I know. But most importantly, the daily happy hour was definitely the highlight of our days. So much fun for this mom to be included in their daily work lives in this way, and I was able to learn so much more about what they actually do in their jobs, which would never have happened without COVID rearing its ugly head last year. Can you tell Terry's a writer? She's actually a writer in real life too.
I love how she says on the break, like how they all met during
quiet on the set.
Yeah, very cute.
They all live in New York City, and when their apartment leases were up last year, she said, come home to mama, and they all stayed until just recently when things started opening back up there.
Love that.
We even divided up menu planning and cooking so that everyone took turns showcasing their things and could sign up for days and nights depending on the workload. My advice to anyone is to embrace the opportunity whenever it presents itself and go with the unexpected flow of family life. No matter the age of your kids, it's always a journey.
Yeah, hopefully a lot of people embraced that time away from the brick and mortar offices to spend time with their family.
And I have to say, I mean, geez, just last summer, I mean, I would have missed so many moments, and I would even look at specific moments or experiences I was having with the boys and think back to what group I should have been in the middle of executing, and thought, God, I would have missed this. I wouldn't have maybe been here to see this little exchange happen.
Yeah.
So I'm thankful I had all that.
My most thankful 2020 moment, which I mentioned in one of our earlier episodes, was that I had an opportunity to bond with my stepson.
Yeah.
Had 2020 not happened, I'm not 100% certain that bonding moment would have ever happened. And I'm so thankful because it brought us closer together.
Yeah.
And now I know what my mission is in life. And my mission is to care and provide for this young man.
Yeah.
So definitely proud mom moment for me.
Oh, I'm proud of you.
Yes, no, thank you. So. Awesome. Well, go ahead.
No, did we have one more? I feel like we had one more. No, we didn't. No, we had them. No, we did have one more.
I must have missed that one.
No, we got to do this one. Miss Jen Dowdy from Texas. Jen's actually one of our innovators from Invigorate Hospitality. So I want to read this really, really quickly. I had 6 months home with my son. She's got a little guy. Because I lost my job when we pulled him out of school. I will treasure those days forever. It was definitely on the hamster wheel, getting up at 5 a.m., dropping him off by 6:30, and then I got a couple hours in the evening. I never realized how much I missed during the day. I became teacher and mom during COVID and then decided to start my business. If there's anything I've learned, it's to treasure time with your family, especially your children. I'm so grateful that we have remained happy and healthy through the struggles of this pandemic. The hospitality industry is crazy. Everything requires a quick response or call to action. It's hard to turn that off. I've also realized that I cannot be super mom, and you need to lean on others for help. Your job is important, but you can't turn back time. Take time off when you can, leave work, and enjoy your loved ones.
Oh, I'm so glad that you saw that.
Yeah.
Thank you, Jennifer. Those are very sweet words, very kind words. Well,
so we hope we could give you a little bit of inspiration and help kind of, give you some different perspective on that stay-at-home mom, career mom life. It's all hard. I mean, let's just face it, it's hard. No one's got it easier. There's pros and cons to both. And we should all just really be wrapping our arms one around another and shining light and support and positivity to one another, because you never know when you're going to be in either position. So we hope that you enjoy your Mother's Day weekend. weekend.
Yes, happy Mother's Day to everyone. And we would be remiss if we didn't say happy Mother's Day to our moms.
Yes.
So happy Mother's Day to Lenore and Dahlia.
Yay.
We love you.
Our momagers. They're our momagers.
Thank you for watching.
Make sure you call your mom and have a happy brand new day.